We usually hear that reading is universally good for brain health. But when we treat a novel like a chore to get through, the data suggests that forcing the process can actually lead to a measurable decline in our empathy. This video explores why fiction impacts your brain differently than nonfiction, the specific mental state required to see those benefits, and the exact one-week timeline the brain needs to process these changes. Reading is an active exercise. Without the right level of engagement, the experience can backfire, leaving the reader more self-focused than when they started. Meta-analyses show that lifelong exposure to fiction correlates with higher verbal abilities, stronger theory of mind, and higher empathy. However, these benefits are not guaranteed. When readers fail to engage deeply, measured empathy can drop below baseline, replaced by a temporary spike in self-protection. Psychologists identified the variable responsible for this shift, a cognitive state called emotional transportation. The cognitive value of reading depends entirely on whether the brain successfully transports itself into the narrative. Emotional transportation is a process where self-awareness drops, time distorts, and the brain processes narrative events as if they were real. Curious, this effect is largely absent in nonfiction. Scientific journals and news reports use a logico-scientific mode that triggers our critical thinking and skepticism. This diagram illustrates psychic numbing. Human brains struggle to feel sympathy for large groups and statistics. We are biologically tuned to connect with a single, identifiable individual. Fiction uses a narrative mode to create a safe arena. This allows us to experience strong emotions and perspectives without our real-world self-protection mechanisms getting in the way. While nonfiction informs us of universal truths, fiction bypasses our defensive skepticism to foster genuine interpersonal empathy. In 2013, researchers Matthias Ball and Martijn Veldkamp conducted 2 experiments to prove that emotional transportation directly causes these empathic increases. Their first study used Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes. Participants who achieved high transportation while visualizing these face-to-face interactions showed significantly higher empathy scores in follow-up testing. A second study using a chapter from José Saramago's Blindness controlled for the reader's mood. This proved that the empathy shift was a result of the transportation itself, regardless of whether the story was happy or sad. These results suggest that the transformative power of literature relies on your emotional involvement, not the specific genre of the text. There is a surprising delay in how these benefits appear. The empathy boosts measured in these studies did not occur immediately after the readers finished the story. The benefits manifest through a sleeper effect, requiring a full 1-week delay to take hold. Researchers call this mental incubation. During this week, the brain unconsciously connects fictional events with daily, real-world encounters. Empathy is integrated into your self-concept over time. It cannot be downloaded instantly the moment you close the book. These findings suggest we should view fiction as a mental flight simulator for reality. By simulating social challenges, stories expand our action repertoires, giving us a wider toolkit for navigating complex social problems and diverse perspectives. To see these benefits, prioritize believability over prestige. Read what actually transports you, as frustration blocks the empathy response. You should also remove physical distractions like your phone to allow your self-awareness to fade. Finally, allow for incubation. Instead of rushing to the next book on your list, give your brain a few days to digest the narrative and trigger the sleeper effect. Treating a reading list like a productivity checklist destroys the very cognitive space required for a story to improve your mind. Skimming for information misses the point. Emotional transportation into a narrative builds empathy in a way that nonfiction logic cannot, provided the brain is given a 1-week incubation period to process the experience. Getting lost in a book provides a vital exercise for brain health and social cognition. A deeply felt story provides the mental simulation we need to expand our understanding of the world around us.